Welcome back to the channel. Open Scandal. We're back on the Open Scandal and looking forward to getting this very cool little car back on the road. It's a real rare Citroën Saxo, and we're going to do some paint work, get the body welded and repaired and push it on. So enjoy this video. So because these wings and front panel and bonnet are a completely different colour to the rest of the car, we're going to sand these down and prepare them for paint and get them off to the paint shop. Done a deal with Johnny McNabb to do a little bit of painting. We got some new parts for £150. We got a new passenger door because ours is very full of fillers, and this is a real good door, like a black door that is immaculate really. Black shows up every mark, every dinge, every little thing, but that's a real good one. A steering wheel, gear knob and gator, gear lever, center console, and an internal light. So we got that whole deal for £150. So right now we just need to press on, get the welding done, get this body cleaned up, and get this S model back on the road. So I just give the wing a rub there with a DA found land the cupboard, which is handy. 320 grip. Then finished it off with this here with 400. My son Luke, his concern was if we don't take this right off, this yellow altogether, it'll peel again. But I want to take it down to the professional painter and get a feel for where he thinks I am at with it and what standard I need to take it down to. So looking forward to hear what Johnny has to say. So I've been to the paint shop and been talking about this colour. Apparently yellow in any form is a very hard colour to match. I mean, if you get the paint code, which is on the car, fair enough, the chances are when you paint the car it's going to be a different shade. So the answer was that we were to get a bit of the original colour of the car and bring it over, and he can scan it and customise the colour and give us exactly what we need. But the difficulty with that was everything that we had was either plastic, which is not good enough, or the wrong colour to start off with. I mean, the wings, the reason we're repainting the front of this car is because it has been damaged at one time. Red wings put on it and painted, which probably was the right colour at the time, but they faded. And we just couldn't get the right colour. So I got the idea that the top half of this door that's actually damaged is the right colour. So I took the door off and ran it over to the paint shop, and he has organised for me 1.5 litre of paint to paint the two bumpers, the front valance, one door, one bonnet, a spoiler, two wings, say that, and just a few other bits and pieces, especially when we tidy up around the back here with welding. So that's all in order. The paint's to be mixed for tomorrow. We hadn't got one particular tone of it, so we'll have that tomorrow. So I want to concentrate and push on and sand up these bumpers and whatever we have here. I'll put a bit of filler in the wing, probably a bit too much, but then again I suppose it's better having too much than too little, because when you've too little on and you sand it, you've got to start again because you didn't put enough on. So going to get stuck in here to the sanding of this car. Let me show you how this door comes off. Well, for my car, the electrics was simple. You just screw a little socket off at the edge of the door. Electrics are supposed to do with, I don't know, the radio. This socket here, and it just screws off and pulls out, which is real handy. The hinges themselves on the car have these little bolts in them. I mean, one goes up the ways and one goes down the ways, and they just threaded at the top. I was turning and turning and turning at them, thinking, why is this not coming out? But you just need to punch it out with gently punch it out and hold the door, wiggle the door about at the same time. The most difficult part was to stay here. These fittings were so hard to get out, and one eventually wrung out. So we have to weld a nut or something on that and try and get it out the rest of the way. That's the fitting that screws into the door. But that's how you take them out anyway. I had to figure that out. This one goes up from the bottom. I have it the wrong way around. And this one goes down from the top. But the doors are so heavy. Real good doors in these cars. So as you see, I've put a little bit of body filler and a crack here that I didn't really notice. What I did notice was it's been sort of welded from the back. Don't know if you can see that or not. So it's had a collision at a time. This car's had a few dents and scrapes over its lifetime, and I've just filled it with normal body filler. And we'll see how we get on. I also think it'd be wise to mask off this bumper. I mean, it's getting so yellow with yellow dust. It just makes sense. It's going to need mask when I spray it anyway. And the more work I can do, it'll save me money in the long run, because Johnny will not have to do it, the paint man. So I'll mask it off. Got a little bit of a dent here, which the paint man knocked out, and I very roughly filled it in. I can tell that this is going to be fun to take off. My thinking of it was, I don't suppose it's worthwhile not putting enough on, so put too much on. But too much gives you a lot of work, doesn't it? So we'll see how this goes. So I believe that's that panel prepared. My wrapping's a bit like my wrapping when I wrap my wife's Christmas presents. My masking, that is. I mean, it's going to do the job, but it's not real pretty. A lot of cracks in this, so I just filled them up as best as I can. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's under the bumper, so I think it'll work. I believe it'll work. So progress is good. 2 rings sanded. Back bumper filled and sanded. Now the bonnet, which is one of Citroën's pukey reddish colours, which I don't like. I like either red or not red. This is like a damson colour. There's a big dent here, just like somebody hit it with a nice pick. So I've stripped it down. I'm going to give it a sand with 240. Then I'll go to 320, 400 and 500 to finish it off, leave it nice and smooth. I'm going to start that now. this wing is pretty good, this bracket. So it is, but on the other wing, it's completely rotten at the bottom. So what we're going to do is, we're going to use a bit of this white cardboard here, place it on the back of this, trace around it, cut it out, then make it exactly the same as that and weld it onto that wing with our new welder. So this is going to be interesting. So while Luke's going to work on the wing, fixing that patch, I'm going to take the battery out, the radiator out, the ECU out, and the air filter off. So the wing repair is done. Turn around, look. How cool is that? So that wing a wee bit more cleaning up and go to the paint. So today is the day we take the engine out of this car. We have removed a lot of the ancillaries and bits and pieces, and Luke's available to give me a hand today. So that makes a big difference. I'll show you some of the things that we need to do to take it out. I didn't think Luke was coming today, but he is coming today, and therefore it's a great benefit. We need to get on and take the engine out. And I'll show you a picture of what we'd like to achieve by taking the engine out. But anyway, this is it. Enjoy the progress. So looking under here, I need to break this somehow. And I may need to end up taking these bolts out, and they're famous for shearing, and that would be real handling. Both sides. Gear linkages, look. And remove the gearbox mounting, which is in the back here. And the gearbox linkages are up here, these little boys, and they pop off, look. Yeah. And then take the big nut off the end of the wheel and pull the drive shafts out, and then put it back so we can move it about. Yeah. Take the exhaust off here, which will be easy, really easy. And once the exhaust's off there, what's the rest of the exhaust like? Not too bad. I suppose it'll do. Bit rusty, to be fair. So to take that exhaust off, it just needs clipped off here. That's really it, and clipped off there. And just take it off then. All together. No point in it hanging, dangling about. So the exhaust off, and down here, that's it, look. Yeah. Right. Ladder down, and let's talk about up above. We would also like to get this, we have the engine wiring harness disconnected above, but we'd like to get it out of that circle there, that metal circle, so we can weld up there. Okay, do you want to let it down so we talk about what we do on top? So when we let it down here, look, we put it on our engine coffee table engine removing device, which is our coffee table, which is this here, which tends to be for setting the engines on. It's pretty strong, remarkably. And up top then, we have removed the ECU. We've done it there on a time-lapse video and all the wiring on this side to repair this. The fuse box is loose, we can hang it up out of the way. And this is the wiring harness for the engine. The clutch is disconnected. The radiator is out. The battery box for the battery tray for the batteries out. Right up here, look what we've got to do.
Hoses out of the
bulkhead.
bulkhead for the water and
Fuel.
And then take the engine harness and put it all with the engine off the chassis.
Yeah. And that might mean me getting into this fuse box from underneath.
You're going to have to take that apart.
Right.
And take all this out.
That needs to come out to take the engine out.
Well, we'll take it out of the road.
Right, well, I'm talking about just getting the engine out. So I have the engine sitting on the coffee table now, everything done down below. What happens up here?
You take out them 3 bolts there.
Them 3 there?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
This one here.
That one there.
The engine come out.
And that's it drops down?
Yeah.
First class, we'll get some WD-40 in them 3 in there then. Spray a bit on it there. Where's the WD-40? There's it there. Spray some of them 3 bolts then. Super. So this is where we're at now. That is the main feed to the electrical of the engine. All the sensors and stuff, disconnecting it there, so we don't have to disconnect every sensor off the engine. The battery tray is removed. The fuse box is loose. We're going to have to disconnect some of the wires from the back of it. This is the state of the inner guard underneath the ECU. So there'll be a lot of welding to be done there. I still haven't figured out how we're going to replace or repair this bracket at the front, which has been damaged, that the radiator sits on. So, let the engine come out. So in order to take the gearbox coil out, we didn't have a suitable square tool for it. So what we done was we took the spindle out of the handle on the garage door, ground it down a little bit, and used the vice grips to take the bung out of the gearbox oil. That's it from Finally Finished Classics this week. Hope you enjoyed this engine out. I'm preparing some of the panels. The plan is this week to get started the welding, clean this whole thing up, get the panels finished and get them sent over to the paint shop, pick the new paint up. And I suppose the big question is, will this thing ever go back together again? So hopefully it will. So stay tuned. I'll just show you what it looks like. That's it. And that's the engine. So what do we intend to do with this engine? Take the rocker cover off, tidy it up. Change the timing belt. Change the thermostat. Paint the whole thing.
Clean it up, yeah.
And leave it looking good for the scandal. So have a great week. See you again soon.